When the Cold War divided the world with iron certainty, when American resolve stood like a lighthouse against the darkness of authoritarian secrecy, there was a quieter battlefield where honor, discipline, and a uniquely American sense of responsibility still prevailed. This was the era when the United States projected confidence not only through aircraft carriers and nuclear deterrence, but through people who believed that strength meant restraint and victory meant preserving civilization itself. Behind the public image of relentless rivalry, American intelligence officers carried something else with them: the conviction that even enemies were human, and that the values they defended did not stop at borders, ideologies, or flags. It is in this rarely told shadow of history that one of the most astonishing truths of the Cold War lives, a truth that reveals how, even at the height of global tension, America's moral compass quietly shaped the rules of a secret war. During the Cold War, espionage was ruthless, calculated, and omnipresent. The CIA and the KGB watched each other with obsessive precision, matching move for move in a global chess game where one mistake could ignite catastrophe. Agents were followed, compromised, betrayed, imprisoned, or eliminated without hesitation. Yet amid this merciless struggle, there existed an unwritten code so deeply understood that it was never recorded. Families were off-limits. Wives, children, and elderly parents were not weapons, not leverage, not collateral. This rule was never signed, never negotiated, and never publicly acknowledged, but it was enforced with remarkable consistency by professionals who understood that once such a line was crossed, the entire system of restraint would collapse into chaos. There are documented moments, quietly preserved in declassified files and first-hand testimonies, where American intelligence officers acted not as adversaries, but as guardians. When CIA surveillance uncovered credible threats to the families of Soviet operatives that had nothing to do with espionage, such as medical emergencies, planned kidnappings by criminal groups, or imminent natural disasters, warnings were discreetly delivered. These alerts traveled through backchannels known only to a handful of seasoned professionals, sometimes passed through neutral intermediaries, sometimes left anonymously in places only the recipient would recognize. No demands were made. No favors were requested. The message was simple and deliberate. This is not the war we fight. Soviet agents, hardened by ideology and trained to expect deception, often struggled to believe these warnings were genuine. Yet time and again they proved real. Children were pulled from danger. Spouses received life-saving medical attention. Families escaped disasters they never knew were coming. And in return, similar warnings flowed the other way. In a world defined by mistrust, these rare acts of mutual protection created a thin but vital thread of humanity that ran beneath the surface of hostility. It was not friendship, and it was never forgiveness, but it was respect between professionals who understood the cost of total dehumanization. This silent understanding did not weaken America. It strengthened it. It demonstrated that the United States could engage in the most complex intelligence conflict in history without surrendering its core principles. American officers did not see mercy as a liability, but as proof of confidence. They knew that true power did not require cruelty, and that safeguarding innocent lives, even those connected to an enemy, was a statement of moral superiority far louder than any propaganda broadcast. In the end, the Cold War was not only won through strategy, technology, and endurance, but through the preservation of lines that must never be crossed. While history remembers the confrontations, the crises, and the brinkmanship, it is these hidden moments of restraint that reveal who truly believed in the future they claimed to defend. When CIA and KGB agents quietly protected each other's families, they were not betraying their missions. They were protecting civilization itself, and proving that even in a war of secrets, America never forgot what it was fighting for.